Hello and welcome to my channel. Remember to please like and subscribe if you like this video. The objective of this video is to be able to remove the bar, chain, and clean all the ports. If you're a student of mine, you'll have gotten a sheet like this. This tracks your performance, chainsaw performance, so you'll be doing the maintenance portion of this. This will cover it in the video. Basically, we'll be removing the bar, cleaning out all the oil parts, blowing out the saw, and then replacing the bar and then putting it at the proper tension. So a couple key things that we'll need to do this. Obviously we'll need a scrunch with a flat blade on it. If you're running a steel saw, you may have a scrunch that has this with the Torx bit on the end, but you don't need that for this one. Just the straight blade with the scrunch piece on it. So in order to remove the bar, we'll have to remove these two nuts right here. So as you can see, our chain is very loose right now. But we'll go ahead and I've got this in the vise. You don't necessarily need this in the vise to remove it. You can do this on the table. I just have it up here so we can see it better. So the two nuts are right here. So we'll go ahead and remove these. Once you loosen your nuts up, and once you loosen your nuts up, I like to back the adjustment out, which the adjustment is right here. We'll get a zoom in on that later on, but the adjustment is right here. We back that off. That way, when you go to put it back on, it's going to be set. We'll go ahead and remove the nuts. That saw should sit there. Okay, with the bar removed, you'll see a couple things here. You have your clutch back here. Okay, this is your drive clutch back here. There is a brake in here, that brake band that goes around as well. This is your drive linked on top. Obviously your chain links here, and here's your studs that go into the chainsaw themselves. Okay, and then the oil comes out of these ports. Excuse me. Oil comes out of these ports and comes down through and oils the chain here. All right, we'll take a look at the cover. Now that we've had the cover off, we can go ahead and remove the chainsaw from the bar. Okay, this is the side cover here. Okay, this is the adjuster screw here on the side cover. This is where our two studs go through. We have our two nuts there. This is the actual adjuster here that adjusts the tension. When you turn that screw on the back side, it turns this one. So, okay, so with chainsaw off here, we can take a look at the components, and you can see they're all dirty. If we spin the saw around, the ports in here are again dirty. The saw is completely filthy, so we're going to go ahead and get it cleaned up here. We're going to blow things off. Make sure you've got the proper personal protective equipment if you're doing this. Okay, I've gone ahead and blowed everything out. We'll take the air filter off and we're going to clean that as well. It simply just comes off and slides out. Install the bar back on it. I'm going to do this from the side, like I said, on the vise just so you can see what it looks like. Put those two studs back into those holes. Make sure that the drive link, the chain goes around the drive link. Especially on some of these smaller saws, it's very easy to not do that. I'm going to try to do this one-handed here. So, next step is to put your side cover on. Make sure that you get the tightener into the hole that it's supposed to be in, or else you're just going to fight with this thing. So, I'll go ahead and get this in here. Hopefully, get this thing right. Okay. So that's in my tightener right there. I'll go ahead and put my nuts back on here. Okay, we don't want to tighten these all the way up. We want to make sure they're just snug so that this saw will move back and forth and up and down a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got that snug, now I can go ahead and tighten the chain up itself. Okay, I like to actually, when I get my bolt snug, make sure that the chain actually spins free and make sure it's on the drive, or else you could end up with some issues there. So now you can just go ahead and tighten this set screw up. On the smaller Echoes, it's going to be down below. Flathead right there. Some of the steels are going to be on the side like this as well. But it's important that you don't over torque this, because this is just some small threads. And go ahead and tighten it up where it's tight. Yeah, that's really tight right there. And then we'll back it up a little bit. All right. So it's important that actually when you go to tighten this up, that you lift up on either the nose of the saw, which would be on the bench if you just put it on the table. Lift up on the nose of the saw, because if you're operating the saw, most of the time you're pushing down and this chain will become loose. See how that is tight right there? All the slack will go to the bottom. If I pick up, it's going to go to the bottom. It's going to make my chain loose. 90% of the time, when you tighten the chain up, if you don't pick up the nose of the bar, especially if you're running something big like this, as soon as you cut that first block of wood, your chain's going to come flying right off. So make sure that you are picking up on the nose of the bar. In this case here, I'll have to lift up on the handle to make my adjustment. To make my adjustment, I'll go ahead and make this adjustment. There's a couple people that say, 3 drive teeth, whatever the case may be. The books all say it should be 1/8 of an inch of slack, and typically your drive teeth have a hole in them, but if you can see a 1/2 a tooth when you pick up on it, right in the center, if you can pick up and you don't have to pick too hard, and you actually see a 1/2 a tooth. Okay, here's that example of picking it up. If you're picking up on that tooth, pick up on it right here. Picking up in the center of the bar, pick up on it. This has, I should see about 1/2 that drive tooth when I pick up on it, which that's about 1/8 of an inch. That's not bad. Okay, so it's plenty tight, all right? Most of the time you're going to be plenty tight right there. So make sure you're holding up on the nose of the bar, which I'm holding up on the rear of the saw here, and I will tighten my bolts up. Both of them. Okay. At that point, my chain spins nice and free, and I shouldn't have an issue. All right. Okay, now that the saw is tightened up and blown out, now you can take your sheet over to one of our instructors, and they'll check off, yes, you removed the bar, cleaned out the oil ports. You did that when you actually came through. You showed me that you cleaned those things out. You blew it out. You replaced the bar. And then I'm going to check for your proper chain tension. And at that time, you'll have to go ahead and get your personal protective equipment on, and you can do the pre-trip or the pre-operation piece. Okay, so I'm going to take this out so you can see that chain is good tension. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and safe cutting.